Okay. Yay.
All right.
First.
I'm going to start talking now.
Okay, go for it.
Do you want to introduce you as your name or your name?
Do you know what? I don't actually know whether or not I'm happy for my name to be. Do you know what? I think there's enough people around called James that I think I could probably be. But my face is never going to appear in any of them, so.
No, your face isn't.
Yeah.
I promise that the only time I'll put your face in it is if it's a dubbing upside down, blurred out, and somebody else.
If you were to put my face in it, I'd expect it to be like the rest of me, but then just my face with like a cropped over picture of like a clip art picture.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm
Like,
thinking. Actually,
who is it that does that?
I've been doing that.
Like oversimplified. Just one of his characters cropped over the face. Obviously, you can't use his, but
Yeah,
you know,
I get
that
what
sort
you
of
mean.
thing. I mean,
Anyway,
yeah,
all right, I'm going to start my intro.
Even, yeah,
Honest,
that's fine.
your first name is Dave.
Fun.
Cool. All right. Ready?
Yes. Sorry.
I hate doing this when you're around.
I mean,
I should pre-record this.
Anyway, we could just jump straight into the stuff and then you record the intro.
No, I need you. I need this to sound as genuine as possible.
I mean, why?
I do.
We are.
I just need it to sound real.
No, you're an idiot.
Yes, but I need it to sound real.
I mean, I could just sit in my background like making clicking noises. You know.
Please don't.
What?
All right. Here you go.
Make your intro genuine.
I'm working on it. All right. I'm probably going to leave all this bit in, to be honest with you.
Just saying.
Oh shit, what the fuck is happening? Epic Launcher's having a crack at me. Anyway. Hello, I'm InvertedOvert, and today I'm doing a chat with a ginger kid. He's called Dead Trigger something 94, otherwise known as James, being as that's his name. Say hello, James.
If you leave the ginger comment in, I promise, I will close your channel down.
He's not mega ginger. He's about as ginger as I am, and my ginger's intermittent at best.
It's only my beard.
My beard does that. It's like
ginger. It's just dark brown.
Yeah, well, but yeah, no, my beard comes out all sorts of fucking colours.
That's why you should not grow beards. So, just saying.
Right. I've actually got an objective for this conversation. We've decided about 5 seconds ago what we were going to talk about, sort of.
Well, I came up with the idea.
You came up with the idea?
Yeah, because there's nobody else really saying this stuff, and I think a lot of it's quite unpopular, and it's quite funny when you start an argument in the YouTube comments. So I'm going to start an argument with a lot of people who watch your videos. So am I going to go down your comments on them and just be like, nope, you're wrong?
No, you're wrong.
Although, to be fair, I've not got the same name on my YouTube comment thing, so people will just get a random comment from some random guy saying, no, you're wrong, he's talking the truth.
No, you're wrong.
So I've got a mysterious guardian angel.
Ooh. Yeah. What, another name?
Yeah. I mean, if it works for Batman,
it doesn't though. Every single film he goes, it's me, and
but
somebody figures it out.
I'm sure it's like into one of the. No, actually, does he? He says that Batman's a bad idea of this film. He's like, oh well, some nut job in a cape. It's like, really?
That's the second one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Dark Knight. Sorry, yeah, not the first one.
Yeah,
I always forget Batman Begins as the first one, even it says Begins.
It's one where Liam Neeson dies. He had this period of films where he just died, and then taken, and they couldn't kill him.
He reappears in The Dark Knight Rises, sort of.
As a sort of hallucination, mental breakdown. Yeah. I mean, in the comics, his character is immortal because of the Lazarus pits.
He's in the game as well. It's great.
Is he?
Yeah, in
I can't remember.
City.
Arkham. Oh, yeah.
He's alive in that one. You like go through the floor in some building, I think.
Is that the one where you have to track that ninja who's in Dr. Freeze's lab, or is it
Talia?
Not Dr. Freeze's lab? Yeah.
Raj,
daughter.
Raj, whatever his name is.
Raj
Al Ghul. Yeah, I
Gosh,
got told off for
yeah.
saying it like that once, so I don't know.
Why?
Because in the movie it's like racial, and in the cartoon
it?
it's something different, and then
Yeah.
fuck it.
Don't overthink it. It's a guy who changes his appearance many times over the course of many episodes, so it doesn't really matter.
He's immortal, he
And
can do that.
well, semi-immortal. I think he dies once and comes back to life because all cartoon characters do.
Yeah. In any case,
What were we on about?
yeah, the whole idea of this was to go through some sort of like unpopular opinions on stuff.
Now,
to try
I
and-
don't know what you're going to say first,
Well,
so I'm hoping I disagree.
I've got a sort of argument between. There's two big gaming unpopular opinions I've got that I think that I'm alone in thinking, but there must be other people. To be honest, I think the people out there agree with one of them are the sort of stereotypical old male gamer. So, I think that one's going to be a great one.
Excuse me, sorry. Right.
I'm not old. I'm younger than you. So.
I never said you were old. I was trying to hold in a burp.
Oh, wonderful. Disgusting. Classy. No, do you know what?
Mate.
My
I
first.
have to keep on moving my mic because I'm having a drink every now and then.
My first unpopular opinion comes with a bit of a caveat, to be fair.
Right.
So to explain to your viewers or listeners in this case, because obviously
It'll be listeners. I'm not putting any video footage up. It's just going to be jellyfish with my name over the front of it.
Okay, cool. So to explain to your listeners, purely because this needs to be said so that people from this group of people don't come and attack me and be like, "Oh, you're disgusting." I'm pansexual, so I don't really care about gender. Male, female, as long as you've got a really good personality, I'm fine either way. Saying that, because the first person I've got an unpopular opinion on is J.K. Rowling. And the Harry Potter franchise.
That sounds like jumping on a bandwagon though, because didn't she do some twittering on something?
Well, the thing is,
caused everybody to hate
her as a person, and the thing that's bothering me at the minute is the whole boycotting of Harry Potter stuff. I'm never gonna not like Harry Potter films, and I sort of semi-ironically like the Fantastic Beast films. Not nearly as much as the Harry films, but there you go. The thing that really bothered me is the fact that everybody keeps going on about the new Harry Potter game and saying that they're not going to play it because of J.K. Rowling. It's like, well, yeah, but she's got nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
She created.
No, but she still receives some of the profits because of the titles.
But who cares? I mean,
Yeah,
Rupert Murdoch is one of the world's biggest bad guys, and he still gets money from us every time somebody turns on Fox News or watches an episode of The Simpsons.
You see, there's me thinking we're going to use Weinstein as well, because he still gets some money from his company when some of his films are played.
Exactly. So it's sort of like, and I generally watched the film the other day, and I honestly can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but I watched it, and the first thing that came up, the sort of weird production things that come up at the beginning of films, it was the Weinstein one, and I was sat there going, oh, great. But then I really enjoyed the film.
Spoil it for me.
No, because then I really enjoyed the film. I just can't remember what it was.
Yeah. I watched Marco Polo on Netflix, which is Weinstein Company, and I really like that as something that I've done recently. But there's other things with like Kevin Spacey in. You know.
Baby Driver, perfect example.
Yeah, Baby Driver is an amazing film.
Brilliant film.
And let's face it, if we stopped giving them money today completely, they are still richer than we will ever be. So it makes no fucking difference.
Don't get me wrong. If I met Kevin Spacey in the street, I probably would kick him in the nuts. But what he's supposed to do, he's never supposed to watch his films. It's the same like the Michael Jackson thing when he died. It's people going, "Oh, can we still listen to his songs?" Yes, of course I'm still.
Let's face it. When he died, people still didn't believe that. That's the thing with Michael Jackson. It was up in the air because
I think it's likely.
Nobody.
It's likely, but at the end of the day, it's one of them things of well,
if you want to attract a child to something, you build a theme park, don't you? That's all I'm going to say to that. If you want to catch a fish, you put a...
I still obviously listen to Thriller because it's one of the best Halloween soundtracks you can get. Feel free to come at me with that one. But
there are no good Halloween sountracks. Wait, no, Glee did a good copy.
Wrong.
I think it was Thriller with Off With Your Head. I liked that.
Wrong. There's Thriller.
Why do you not like Glee?
No, there's Thriller, which is a great soundtrack to Halloween. There's also The Nightmare Before Christmas, which has got some fantastic Halloween songs at the beginning.
I don't like that film. Though, is it
you.
Hans Zimmer? It is Hans Zimmer, isn't it?
Tim Burton.
Let me Google. Let me pretend I know what I'm on about. No, who's it? Yeah, no.
It's
yeah.
Tim Burton. I think it might be Hans Zimmer. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not willing to stake calls on it. But yeah, there's plenty of Halloween soundtracks. What are you on about?
Tim Burton. It was Tim Burton, but who sings? I'm pretty sure.
Jack Skellington. And the rest
it's
of Halloween
Danny Elfman.
Oh yeah,
Danny Elfman.
See, I don't like a lot of this stuff because I'm a bit of a classical nerd when it comes to.
I know why I was thinking Hans Zimmer.
Why?
I currently have on one of my many windows. The first thing I'm looking at is the Mombasa soundtrack from Inception.
Oh, well, there you go.
Because I'm that sad, I have that tune on my playlist.
In any case, let me get back to my original point of J.K. Rowling a few minutes ago.
Oh yeah.
It's the idea that people are, and I'm gonna name drop Twitter again because I think that's where I get a lot of my frustrations from. There's a certain part of Twitter that I seem to be a part of where there's a lot of people who follow another well-known YouTuber who boycotts a lot of stuff that are to do around whenever somebody makes any sort of trans a big issue. And he sort of publicly said that he's against all of this, and it's like, so does that mean you're never going to play his game or their game, considering it's Warner Brothers and not J.K. Rowling? So I would say to all of these people who are sort of going, no, we should boycott him. Fine, you are not allowed to buy the game now. Then that's it. If you're going to say you're not going to support him, fair enough. But you can do what you want to do. You are now not allowed to buy that game. Don't come out with this bullshit. Oh, we're going to boycott him on Twitter and then actually go and buy the game. I hope the game, considering it's a Harry Potter game, it's an open world game, and it's the first Harry Potter game we've had on the consoles that are. It looks like it could be an actual full RPG game.
They've put a lot of effort into it. The only problem is it's going to be heavily restricted by the genre, I think, because you aren't playing as Harry Potter, if I'm remembering correctly. I ain't got it up in front of me, but from what I've seen, you play as a unique wizard.
Yeah, it's
going to be.
You create your own wizard, and then you're playing. I think it's the beginning of the 1800s, so before even Dumbledore were at school. So it's.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work, but
I think if they can make a compelling story, I think it could be quite good.
You're just going to play as a guy who ties together all the background lore, and let's face it, nobody really gives a crap about the background lore of Harry Potter.
I don't think they're doing that. They're not taking a lot of the background lore because a lot of the stuff that they've said about the game, they've not really focused on the sort of lore behind it. Or they've done a bit of world building and they've took that, but other than that, a lot of it's for their own invention. But again, it's sort of like I would be saying to the people who are threatening to boycott them, I would literally ban them from buying the game. And then I really hope that the game is fantastic. Because you're going to boycott something,
you don't have anything to do with it. You cut it off.
Yeah,
that's not a scandalous opinion. That's just how it works.
I'm assuming you know the YouTube.
If they buy the game, they're hypocrites.
Yeah, I'm assuming you know the YouTube I'm talking about when I say all this about focus on trans issues because of a partner.
Do you want me to say out loud the name I'm thinking?
No,
or shall we just?
I think you would get into trouble for that.
Okay, in which case I will say yes.
Yeah, for one we've spent a lot of time watching in London.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you know who I'm on about now.
I do.
Yeah. So he's one of the particular people who have said that they're going to boycott it. So I would expect now never to see a video on their channel about this game. And if I do,
now I think that they will.
There you go. Exactly. So why should they be allowed to do that if they're spending all this time now campaigning against a game like this?
Or their occupation is to talk about games.
I don't think we should be allowed.
You can't talk about something without actually doing something.
Yeah, if they're going to boycott it, fine, boycott it. Don't buy it.
You can promote boycotting for other people, I guess, and do it yourself. Because
I'll be honest.
You can lead the way, but
I've followed this YouTuber for a long time. I've been watching him since his early videos.
Are you still following him?
Yeah, I'm still following him. I still watch videos when he puts them up. Does a lot more Twitch now, and I don't catch a lot of it because I'm busy. but I'll watch them when I get round to it, and I watch some of his videos quite regular, and I'll go back and watch some old videos to have a laugh.
Yeah, I've got to say, I tend to have.
But
I
if
teeter backwards and forwards between a few.
yeah, if he was to do a video on the game, I would probably unsubscribe from him straight away, just because I don't think it's fair that he should be allowed to basically tell his couple of million followers that they shouldn't be playing a game and then go ahead and play it. And I'm guaranteeing that game will be at least half decent because of who's producing it. So
I would only I don't think I would unsubscribe
I
for that
would.
reason. That seems a little bit petty.
No,
I would only unsubscribe
if
if they started to sprout something that I completely disagreed with, as in represented something I disagree with.
Well, I completely
and I don't
disagree
think
with
they represent
boycotting
anything
stuff.
in particular.
I disagree with boycotting things that are nothing to do with a problem. So a video game created by a company that's got nothing to do with the original creator of the actual world.
No, but again, like circling back to the beginning, she'll still get something because it's connected to the title that she created.
At the end of the day,
but
shouldn't she get that money for the work she's done?
Well, she'll still be getting money from the other stuff because let's face it, the films are still getting played on stream and everything.
Let's put it in this way then. If you were in her shoes and you'd created a world that people absolutely loved, and then years along down the line,
which is basically just to have a dig at the Harry Potter universe in general, unpopular opinion from my side, there is nothing original about what she has done at all. There is no originality to her story. There is no originality to the world, and she actually blatantly references other better stories, such as using Merlin, for instance.
So she's sort of like ripped off other people, which is fair enough. A lot of people do that.
I know you disagree with that because you say she's been quite inventive, but
I think what she's done is she's taken over those sort of vague ideas and built a really good, interesting world to go with the movies. And I really enjoy the movie. I know people like the books more, but I really enjoyed the movies.
I think she focused the books really well. To say that, like I say, I think the context is thinner than paper. I think she focused it at the correct audience. She focused it at that like young teens, pre-teens audience who are a sucker for that sort of stuff.
I think I was. When did Philosopher's Stone come out?
Well, in book, I think it came out a couple of years before the film. So
yeah, no, it's the
like
film
11, 12.
Talking about. I think it was like 99.
2001? 2001.
So I was 7 when I first saw that film. So I've grown up from 7 years old watching the Harry Potter films. I didn't watch the last 2 until about 2 years after they came out, just because I didn't want them to end. Which is really
had to go and see the last 2 because I was made to.
No.
I made the mistake of taking somebody who really likes the Harry Potter films to go and see an utterly terrible film that I could only repay them back by taking them to see them 2 films.
I didn't enjoy the first of the last 2. I
think they've aged badly. To be
Do you know
honest
what? I disagree. I generally watched The Philosopher's Stone 2 days ago. I had a really good time watching it, so I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really funny.
This is going to be an interesting one. What out of all of them, which one is the worst? I'm a bit torn because I don't like the first ones. I don't think they've aged very well. But I really think the Order of the Phoenix is the worst one.
No, the epic battle where Sirius dies, though, that's such a good.
That doesn't make it epic. That just means somebody dies.
No, and it's the fight between Dumbledore and Voldemort is absolutely amazing.
What, some whistling? Do they actually need wands? Because in that fight, they don't use their wands half as much as you think.
It's based on skill.
Or is it the commands? They don't have to shout the commands either.
Yeah, it's based on skill. I think from what I can remember, I read something about it once about the fact that some wizards don't need to actually save a spell because they're that skilled at it. They can just sort of make it happen.
So basically, they're saying that its intention.
Yeah, I think so. Something along those lines. But
Great.
yeah. I mean that short fight towards the end of the film made that film for me. There was a few little bits in the film that I didn't like, but then quite a lot of it I enjoyed as well. So
That whole film was really frustrating for me. It really was. I mean, yeah, sure, I can make an argument for the Goblet of Fire being the worst one, because that is the most convoluted way to assassinate somebody I've ever seen.
See, I really liked that one, but only because I don't like Robert Pattinson. So when he died, I found it really funny. Really...
You know what? Robert Pattinson in all of his films looks bloody miserable. That's the only film I've ever seen him actually act in.
I really don't like him. I just don't. There's some actors that I genuinely just do not like watching.
Do you think he'll be the good Batman then?
I think he will. I think he will, to be fair, because of how much work's gone into it. But it's still. I mean,
yeah. I think he'll pull it off purely because he's too boring.
I don't like Batfleck, so I can't stand him.
I don't like Batfleck. No. I think Christian Bale set the bar. I mean, those are, like
Christian Bale and obviously Adam West. Just because.
Adam West set it in a different bar. Let's not have them in the same genre. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He was the comedy version of Batman. But
I was also going to say Heath Ledger's Joker came out of those films, and he's set a different bar.
I think he was one of the best villains in a movie I can
think of. It's between him and bollocks. Come on, help me out here, brain.
Gonna have to be a bit.
The guy at The Shining.
I don't know. I've never watched it. Don't do horror films.
Why is his name not coming to me? I'm gonna hate myself when I see the name pop up. It's
Torrance.
For fuck's sake. No.
Oh, you're on about the guy who played him? Is it not?
Yes. Jack Nicholson.
Oh yeah.
Why couldn't I remember his name?
I always find him a bit creepy.
He plays he's very good though. He's quite a creepy guy, but his Joker is the opposite end of the scale to what Heath Ledger's is dark. His is very clowny, and
his is comical.
Every Joker that's come after has been shit.
Other than
Suicide Squad, the guy.
Jared Leto. He needs to fuck off. He needs to get him a bin.
No. And the Joker, I think was it Jared Leto's Joker that turned up in the Snyder Cut as well.
Yes.
Just why? There was no point.
I haven't watched the Snyder Cut either, just because I couldn't stand Justice League.
I have seen the Snyder Cut, and it doesn't make it any better. It really doesn't. You can't polish a turd. They rushed that series because obviously the Avengers had got there first.
I have a love-hate relationship with Marvel, with the Avengers films.
They have some very good ones and some very bad ones.
I've only watched. I mean, out of a lot of them, I've watched all of the Iron Man films because, of course, I have Mrs. Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with a bit of Robert Downey.
I've watched
the first one's not very good, but
I think I've seen every Spider-Man film bar The Amazing Spider-Man 2 because it was dog shit.
I liked it,
and now it goes Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, then Andrew Garfield.
I think the people might argue with the Andrew Garfield thing.
He belongs in the bin. He's creepy and he's annoying. He's just not a good Spider-Man.
I mean, you do take the piss. Going to what we were going to talk about next, which is unpopular opinions about films. We were going to talk about Into the Spider-Verse, weren't we?
Yes.
They reference his dancing outside of the club.
That's not Andrew Garfield.
At the beginning. Tobey Maguire. That's Tobey Maguire. They reference it in Into the Spider-Verse, don't they?
It's one of the funniest bits of a film where he goes, "We don't talk about that."
He's like, "We don't talk about this." The thing I'm going to argue is, I think they got the voices the wrong way around.
What do you mean?
I think. Is it Chris Pine? I think he should have been the Joker that came in, mainly because I think he's got a better voice.
God, no. Nick Miller as the sort of crappy version of Spider-Man was brilliant. It's such a good idea because Nick Miller is.
No, don't get me wrong. He's got a good.
I'll be honest.
Just a good voice, but I
just think this out there before we carry on. Into the Spider-Verse is my new favorite film of all time. I cannot think of a film I enjoyed more than watching Into the Spider-Verse. I've watched it a few times since I bought it. and it is just so impressive. Everything about it
Oh
is
no, I agree.
absolutely brilliant.
Sony have nailed it. Sony nailed that.
But it's
Perfect.
It's just
just
everything
great.
from the actual visuals of it to the music, which music for I'm really picky about music that I enjoy, and you will attest to this that I do not like any of the sort of new music where it's sort of like
No,
drum and
you are
bass
very
or
old school. Yeah.
I cannot stand. I don't even know his name in the movie. The actual singer.
What the?
I can't.
Oh God, no! I
Cannot
can't
stand
fucking
him.
remember, mate.
Cannot stand him. But it works so well in the film, and genuinely,
Yeah.
the bit where Miles actually starts to use his powers properly at the very end of the film, genuinely makes me choke up every time I watch it. The mixture of
Is that Start a Riot? No, it's not Start a Riot. It's
no, it's What's Up Danger.
Yeah, that's the one.
John
I've got that on
Pemberton.
my Spotify.
John Pemberton. I'm sure it's something Pemberton. Pemberton.
Pemberton.
Oh, what's his name?
Daniel.
No,
Daniel.
no, it's
Daniel Pemberton.
no.
Yes.
I'm just going to open Spotify.
Are you talking about the guy who composed the music?
Yes.
It's Daniel Pemberton.
Is it Daniel? Are you sure?
Yes. Yes.
I didn't think it was Daniel. I thought it was something else.
No.
I'm opening Spotify, so sorry about the delay, but I am going to check this because
Okay, fine.
I don't trust him.
No, you wouldn't, would you?
Nobody should.
Not first time.
Daniel Pemberton. Yeah, shit.
Thank you.
Yeah, but the mix of his song and What's Up Danger, the bit where Miles finally jumps off the side of a building and does that amazing rise to the city and all this kind of stuff.
Is that the one where the city's the wrong way up?
It's
such
an incredible moment. I generally get a tear in my eye whenever I watch it because the music and everything is so good at that point.
The only reason I know it's Daniel Pemberton is because Daniel Pemberton also did King Arthur the Legend.
Not interested.
Okay, fine.
Don't like, King Arthur the whole.
I like that film.
No.
But yeah, that's a conversation for another time. Let's get back onto Spider-Verse. I think they got the voices in the wrong order. Nicolas Cage nailed his character.
Do you know
the black and white one? I think he did really good.
The only part of that film that I would say I mildly dislike is Peter Parker.
No, I think he's real. John Mullen. John Mulaney? John Mulaney. Is it John Mulaney? Spider-Ham.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good addition because he's out there. I mean, in the second one, there's rumouring to bring in one of the '90s animation characters.
Well,
so.
yeah, because it'd be funny as hell. The after credits to Into the Spider-Verse are hilarious.
Yes.
The after video to it is one of the funniest things I've watched in a long time.
It beats the Shrek one, doesn't it? Where they have the big musical.
Oh yeah. No, you've just reminded me of that one, and that was quite good as well.
It was good, but I think it beats it only by a little bit.
As a sort of slight diversion from the topic, I remember on the DVD to Shrek 2. Was Shrek 2, weren't it?
Where they have the rock off.
There is
there's the first one with the singing in the swamp.
Yeah, no, it's Shrek 2 when they do the actual when they do the little sing along with a fairy godmother. There's an extra on the DVD where you can play a version of the X Factor with Simon Cowell turns up. Oh, it's so brilliant! I absolutely love it. It's great.
And you can tell he's trying to do voice acting, but it's Simon Cowell, and he's got no talent.
They literally get Simon Cowell in, and then they've got Shrek.
And they also give him the high trousers.
Yeah, and they get Shrek and Fiona to be judges with him, and it's like at the end of it, they get up and start singing. And it's like, oh, for fuck's sake! I absolutely love that in DVD extra. It's brilliant. But back to Spider-Verse.
Backtracking.
I think they did it right because Chris Pine to me is always going to be a sort of hero figure in movies.
Please don't reference the Star Trek films. Well, reference the first Star Trek film that he's in.
That's going to become another point now.
I like them films. I don't like the last one. I don't like Beyond. Beyond has the Beastie Boys destroy everybody.
I like the last one, but sort of in an ironic way.
Please don't tell me it's because the Beastie Boys blow things up in rhythm.
I'll be honest, that is a big factor. It's such a good action moment in the film. It's great.
It's really not.
if it
I
wasn't,
mean, that song's been in all three of the films in some way or another.
Well, that's a good thing, though, and it's sort of.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is.
Find
Anyway,
a different soundtrack.
Anyway, right. If that film was not labelled as a Star Trek film, I think it would have done a lot better than it did. Just because I think it is quite. It's a good action film. That's the thing.
I think there's a clever bit with the duplicate holograms. Yeah.
Yeah, that last.
And also,
that
but
last
it's
third of a
unfortunate
movie.
that film really did damage Idris Elba. I mean, not as much as Cats did. But,
No,
but
I've not watched that film, so.
You don't want to. I mean, there's some parts in it where they don't even bother to CGI in the cat, so.
Nice.
It's just
Well, no,
but
Chris Pine to me is sort of like, he's always going to be a sort of, he's the sort of idea of what a hero should be. So he's in that respect, he's sort of the perfect version of a hero. So when we had him as the perfect version of Spider-Man, I thought that was a really great fit. And then when they killed him off, I'm like, no! But then obviously Nick Miller then.
Are you talking about Wonder Woman?
No, God no. Did I?
Where they spoiled his return for Wonder Woman 84 because you saw him in the fucking titles and adverts.
I've not watched that film. No, I've only watched the first one. And even
I absolutely hate it when they do that in films. You know, like in Thor Ragnarok.
I really enjoyed that film.
Oh no! Oh god, yeah. Thor Ragnarok is the best Thor. It's actually arguably the best Marvel film.
No, I won't go that far.
But I'll come back to that. It's
one of my favourite Avenger films.
Yeah, and a Solo because.
Oh yeah, Solo Avenger film. Sorry.
Because without knowing that the Hulk was going to be in it, that joke about we work together, and when he goes yes and all that would have been so much better. And the story afterwards, to be honest with it, without knowing that the Hulk was there, or people who hadn't followed the comics and known what Planet Hulk was,
is a thing. I mean,
stuff like that.
Because I don't read the comics, I was never a big fan of comic books.
But the Hulk was shown in the advert, which spoilt the delivery because you knew it was going to be there.
I didn't see any adverts. This is a thing. But I don't watch TV anymore. And I also have ad blocker running on all my computers in my house, so I don't see adverts anymore at all. Which is great because when I see movies like Into the Spider-Verse, I had no idea about anything to do with Miles Morales. And every single twist in that film was so unexpected for me. It just made that film so much better.
You played the game after you'd seen the film, right?
Yes.
Do you think
the game
Miles
is very
Morales
different
in the game is close to the character?
I think he's quite similar, to be fair. Yeah. Actually, do you know what? I think he's pretty much the same.
Do you think that was deliberate to keep that sort of momentum going? Because I do. I think they've given him those abilities and that sort of personality deliberately so they can keep the film hype. Because they know that people who like the games will watch the films, and people who watch the film might like the game.
What you've got to remember there is obviously the powers that he's got are based on the comic book, so it's nothing to do with the film. That
is the application though.
See, no, because there's quite glaring differences between the sort of stuff in the game to in the movie. Like, for example, his Venom powers in the game are all blue, I think they are. No, orange.
Blue and yellow.
They're orange in the game. Everything's orange in the game for his powers. Whereas in the movie, it's blue. And I don't think in the movies it ever went yellow. I think it was always blue in the movies.
When he takes on Kingpin at the end, possibly.
No, that's still blue because he does the thing where he touches him on the shoulder and it's still all blue.
Oh yeah, he does the hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the game's all orange. So there's differences like that, but I don't think they did it intentionally. The fact is that Insomniac was definitely working on the game. I think there was about halfway through production when Into the Spider-Verse came out. So I don't think it would have
wasn't the Spider-Man game that it's basically really good DLC for already out.
Yes. Yeah, it were, yeah. Which, by the way, first Spider-Man game was brilliant. Possibly one of the best.
Okay, this is going to be a confession. I haven't played it.
Oh, that is...
I got really hung up trying to play God of War, but unfortunately, due to life reasons, I can't play that game for longer than 10 minutes at a time because it's one of those cursed games. I can play Sniper Elite for ages, but the moment I stick that game on, something happens. Every single time.
God of War's great. It's a great game, and I'm not saying it's not. The whole
I'm
no
loving it so far,
cut
but
camera work in that game is insane.
yes, I'm gonna say thank you Hitchcock, because he's the guy who came up with it first, I think.
However, out of all the games I've played recently, the one that I still remember everything about is Spider-Man. Just because obviously I never did the comics, I never really did the books. I did a lot of the cartoon shows, but I didn't do the comics or anything.
Cartoon shows were good. I really liked the
I
cartoon
can remember
shows.
watching the cartoon shows. I can't remember much about them. But I used to watch.
Yeah,
I
they
used
are
to
very
watch a lot of the
forgetful.
cartoon shows, like Batman, the animated stuff. I used to love that.
I liked Batman of the Future. That was
the one we had
my
the dogs
favourite
as well, weren't it? Because he had dogs in one of them.
Yeah, and the really, really tiny wings.
Yeah, he had like a red bat.
You could have it as a skin inside of Arkham.
Yes.
Inside the Arkham games.
Yeah. No, so I watch them, but I've been so unspoiled when it comes to Marvel characters. So Spider-Man is a huge one for me. Absolutely loved everything in the 2 games that we've done from Insomniac. Absolute perfection. Not only the actual gameplay, but the story, and then the graphics on the game are incredible.
Yeah, I've got to say it's visually perfect.
Yeah, you need to play the first one, because I think you will enjoy it. If you enjoy the first one, you will definitely enjoy the second one. It's just funnier. Really is funny. Yeah.
I will take note. In fact, I'm writing it down now. Spider-Man. That's all I'm writing.
Yeah, Insomniac Spider-Man. Can't remember what the original point was.
We were talking about Into the Spider-Verse and how I disagreed with the voice layout, and then for some strange reason, Shrek got brought up.
Yeah, that was a little tangent. Yeah. So I don't think they got the voices wrong. I thought they actually nailed it absolutely perfectly, because Nick Miller as the crappy version of Spider-Man is hilarious, and some of the lines Nick Miller gets in that are just fantastic.
Yeah, he does have some great lines.
Is it Nick Miller? Am I just saying that because I know he's in there? It's not Nick Miller, is it?
Jake Johnson.
Jake Johnson, Jesus. I keep calling him Nick Miller because
I was letting you say Nick Miller because I was like...
He's Nick Miller in New Girl, and that's what it reminds me of. So every time I hear his voice, I think of New Girl.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Jesus. That's my own fault, not really picking up on that.
I ain't backtracking through all the audio. I might backtrack through all this audio, just find the first time you say it, and just have it pop up saying he's an idiot, he means this guy.
Yeah, that's my fault. Sorry, guys. No, but Jake Johnson, I think he was absolutely perfect for that version of Spider-Man. I think he was hilarious.
Yes.
Even from a first second.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. He does it. He does very well, but I just think Chris Pine's got a nicer voice.
I think that's the problem though. They didn't want a perfect version of Spider-Man in there.
True.
That's why I was saying about him being the perfect version of somebody.
Well, just give Chris Pine a pint or two. I'm pretty sure he's a lightweight.
No, he's the thing that I have about Chris Pine is I like him in his own movies, but when he's in somebody else's movies, I only like small bits of him. Just because, yeah.
Are you talking about the peen?
No, because you only see him in his underwear in 2 movies. One of them's Star Trek, and the other one's a movie
When's
called...
When's his underwear in Star Trek?
At the very beginning, when he's with that alien chick.
Oh,
green alien
yeah.
chick in a Uhura turns up, and she's like, "What are you doing in her bed?"
Yeah,
she calls him a mouth breather.
The mouth breather.
Yeah, which I don't quite understand that insult, because everybody breathes through their mouth. So
they call people in season 1 of Stranger Things. 11 starts calling people mouth
I think it's a funny insult, but I just don't understand it. It's like
it just means you breathe through your mouth. It's just like a sort of thing.
It's just everybody does that. No, everybody breathes through their mouth. It's
Well, they don't. You've got a nose for a reason. If you're breathing through your mouth, you've got issues.
Well,
also, halitosis.
Well, I mean, it's not always issues. How do you know you don't breathe through your mouth when you sleep? Just as a...
It's called snoring.
Although, let's get back on topic again. What even was I saying? Oh yeah, the underwear thing. No, the other movie. The other movie is I can't actually remember what it's called. It's a train film.
Oh, non-stop. No, not non-stop.
No, not non-stop. Goodness,
It's the one with he's with no,
Denzel
Training Day,
Washington.
out of Training.
Is it Denzel Washington?
Yeah, Denzel Washington is with him, isn't he?
Yeah.
And there's two trains heading towards each other.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah. I can't remember. Unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
Yeah,
Fucking hell. Non-stop's the one with the aeroplane with Liam Neeson in it, isn't it?
I think it's like in the first 5 minutes you see him in his underwear. So
Fine.
yeah, they're the only two movies I've seen where he's in his underwear, along with a lot of Google searches and Twitter. But, no,
so this is a well-researched little fact, is it?
Yeah. No, what was my point?
There was a point to this?
You said something about Pete.
I was talking about nice. I was saying that them two should have switched places because Chris Pine's got the nicer voice.
No, I think that's the thing. Now, I don't think they needed somebody with a nice voice to play the sort of daft version of Spider-Man, which is what what Jake Johnson plays. I nearly said Nick Miller again. You know what?
Shall I start shouting? Shall I start telling you the different Spider-Mans? Because I can only remember a couple of them. I don't know who plays Penny Parker. I don't know what her fucking name is.
See, I didn't like her at first when I first watched it. I was sort of like, I can't stand anime anyway.
That's the one I would have changed for somebody else. But I think they were going for out there, weren't they?
Well, the thing that annoys me about Penny Parker is the fact that she's not Spider-Man or Spider-Woman. She's got a robot.
She's got a robot with an intelligent spider in it.
No, what are you doing? No, give me a spider person.
Fuck off. Yeah, give me any of the spiders.
That's got a brain. I don't want to ever think about spiders being able to be intelligent. I'm alright.
Oh, mate. I was watching The Mandalorian the other day.
No.
There's an episode called The Passenger.
No.
And it crashes on an ice planet. It's just got thousands of giant spiders chasing him down an iceberg.
See, Star Wars is one of them for me. This is going to be another unpopular opinion for you because I don't really like Star Wars.
You see, you like the Star Wars?
No.
Do
you know what? The only film
if you didn't know anything about Star Wars and watched The Mandalorian, you're just watching a sci-fi space western that I would compare to the Firefly universe.
See,
or
Serenity. I tried watching The Mandalorian when I bought Disney Plus, and I struggled to get into it, if I'm honest. I got a couple of episodes.
Well, we can't talk anymore. This conversation is over.
Sorry,
I'm going to find somebody else.
No, I just
genuinely, I can understand.
I got a few episodes and I was just like,
is it because you were like, who the fuck is this Mandalorian and why won't he take his hat off?
No, I sort of understood.
And why is he played by 3 different people instead of just one guy who can act and do guns and fight?
Oh, is he generally played by? Oh, that's poor.
Pedro Pascal plays him and does the voice.
That's really poor.
But they have a martial arts specialist and a weapons specialist to play him also.
That's so poor.
And I was when I found that out, because I like watching behind the scenes of things. They did like because I like knowing how things are made, and I found that out. I was like, why do they need that?
That's so wrong.
Why do you need that? Because
When I mean, I know it's quite a common thing that movie people don't do their own stunts a lot of the time because fair enough, they might get injured, whatever. But you look at people like Tom Cruise, who will he broke his ankle on the set of the last Mission Impossible Fallout, where he jumps from one building to another, breaks his ankle and still finishes the run. And he does all that, and it's like, you've got actors like Tom Cruise who will do absolutely everything and are so brilliant.
Do you know that inside The Mandalorian there's a character called Cara Dune? Now, this is going to be a very scandalous opinion because she did some tweets which compared people to far-right people, I think.
No, she is a far-right supporter, though, ain't she? That's the whole point.
She's got some political opinions which, let's face it, are shady at best. But you've got to remember, this woman's a UFC fighter and hasn't exactly had the best of opportunity to think any different. I think she plays Cara Dune perfectly, and she's also in Deadpool.
Oh, Deadpool,
and nobody complains about that.
Is it Deadpool?
She is.
No,
she's in the first Deadpool film. No, she's in the first one. She plays the really super strong woman because she does the hero landing.
Yeah, she's. Oh, what is it that
We
calls her?
unless angry Donna will do or
That's
something like that.
Rosie
Yeah.
McDonald, Rosie O'Donnell. I love. Yeah, I love.
Have you seen the outtakes to that? Because they have to shoot that like 6 or 7 times
there's
because he
one where
keeps on coming up with
there's one
shit.
where she accidentally punches him and he's like, "I'm really sorry."
Yeah.
Um,
But back to the Mandalorian, she does all her own shit,
yeah,
and she doesn't act
which is
bad.
fair enough. I
She's
think
actually.
the problem is the people that are.
I'd have kept her, to be honest with you. I wouldn't have caved into this whole, oh, you've got to get rid of her now. She's expressed an opinion that people disagree with, because people disagree with things all the fucking time.
Well, I think to be fair, that's all well and good, and not bowing down to a group of people saying this person shouldn't be allowed to do this. Which, yep, fair enough.
I don't think they sacked her. I think they let her go because I think she's got a film thing going with some other people now.
Well, I think the thing is, the thing that gets me about people like this when they're such big stars, or even not so much themselves.
Oh, by the way, did I say her name? It's Gina Carano. Gina Carano?
I couldn't care.
She's a very good fighter, actually. She's got quite a good.
Well,
she's got quite.
The thing is, when it's somebody like that who's not so much a well-known name, but they're part of something well-known, so something like The Mandalorian, or say Harry Potter. If you're then stupid enough,
coming back to
well,
it.
if you're then stupid enough in that position of known people who know your name, if you're then stupid enough to start spouting alt-right phrases and starting to claim that things, if you're starting to follow Donald Trump and saying stuff like that and all this
I think what happened is she said stuff that people disagreed, but she didn't apologise for it.
Well, I mean, each to their own.
I mean, it's like making the UK apologise for slavery when we didn't invent slavery.
Well,
you know,
I mean, we were pretty.
These things have existed way before.
Yeah.
But slavery is a different one completely.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna get onto that. That's a dark pit to go down.
Well,
all I'm gonna say is, let's face it,
the
Romans were doing it before anybody else, and
people
were doing it before that.
If you are in the public eye and you are stupid enough to go out there and
don't call it stupid. All she was being is a genuine person saying the first thing that came into her head.
She knew that stuff was going to upset
have thought about. She did remove the post, at least.
Yeah, after she'd made it public.
Yeah, but you know, she removed the post so it wasn't there to offend people. After that, she didn't have, which is the minimum of requirement. At least she was like, oh, okay, people don't like it, I'll get rid of it. I don't have to apologise for it.
She should have done.
Now this is, I don't think
that's the difference.
If it's what she thought, I don't think she needed to apologise for it. Okay, I disagree with.
This is where I have my issue though, because it's sort of like, I don't really understand why people can't just live and let live, leave it. It's people say what they want, think what they want, just let them get on with it. You live your life and just
I'm going to sound a massive hypocrite on this one, because there are things that obviously you have to apologise for, even if you don't mean it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're saying that everybody's entitled to whatever they want, that opens up a whole can of worms of the extreme. I think what me and you are talking about right now is political opinion inside of the mainstream still, because she wasn't saying extremist stuff. She was just siding with the wrong side of the current agenda.
Let me ask you a question. I don't want it to become too political, just because I don't think there's any point.
Yeah.
However, the stuff that she was claiming or saying, I don't know which one the best way is to put that. Is it the same stuff as what Donald Trump was saying and putting out into the public? Because if it is, then it makes her a dick. So it's nothing about whether she were right or wrong. It's if she agrees with somebody like that on something quite serious and that's in the public interest, and it's sort of like, yeah, the majority of people don't agree with you, then it's probably a bit stupid to then be like, oh yeah, I agree with this. Like, no, you need to chill out, love.
Yes.
Do you see what I mean? I think
I'm gonna say so.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna bring up America again because it's too depressing, but there you go.
I think it's because one of her posts also featured a man of colour covered from head to toe in masks. But
Jesus.
you know, when you just it wasn't. I don't, from what I'm reading here, because I'm having to backtrack, because as it was going on, I read it. Yeah, she did post a picture of loads of people doing Nazi salutes and a circle around
Oh,
one white guy
magic!
not doing it.
She's a wonderful person, isn't she?
Yeah, but it's like
No. I'm sorry. You are not going to defend a woman who thinks that a picture of a load of people.
she wasn't saying it was right. The actual picture has a circle around a guy not saluting.
So what was the caption with the picture?
She was saying that not everybody was a Nazi, I think. There's no words attached to it.
Right,
I'm just glancing through the things here. I can't remember, but basically she said some things quite scandalous and compared people to something. But these are all
have to have a look at these, because I don't remember those.
I don't remember these either, which is why it's quite a surprise. I may just be looking at stuff that she's done over the past 5-6 years, but...
Copy a link into our chat for me to have a look at while you're talking.
This is the actual story. Here we go. This is the actual story. I ain't going to read it out. People are just going to have to go and research it themselves. But I've just found the insider's full copy.
Okay. Oh, she's an anti-masker. Oh, fucking... Yeah, she needs to get in a fucking bin.
But that's not all she is.
Sorry. I'm sorry. This is one thing that really bothers me. It's like, you've got 100 doctors saying... It's the old adage of if 100 people are telling you that something is bad for you and only one person is telling you it's not, why you listen to the one person that's telling you it's not? What is wrong with you? What's gone wrong in your head that you're doing that? I don't want to turn off my ad blocker. Leave me alone.
Basically, I think she's just very strong-willed and very highly opinionated. And aren't we all in the end? And she has a very direct way of putting things across, and people don't like direct. Nobody likes direct. Apparently,
direct with you.
Apparently, being blunt is something that people don't like because it cuts out all that niceties, and that's what she's just very blunt.
I mean, you've known me for 10 years-ish.
10, 11
more,
years.
Actually. I've always been pretty much to the point with people. I don't really cover it up unless they ask me to. So I'm pretty blunt, and I don't feel like anybody's ever tried to get me off of any sort of news network because I don't agree with other people. I think it's all down to the way you talk to people. No, I do. It's just that people are stupid and they don't think about stuff. So you're a prime example. You're the person I tend to disagree with about certain things because I know that you've not really thought it through.
Thanks.
But the difference between me and somebody else who doesn't agree with you, I'm willing to change my mind. If you can prove to me that I'm wrong or that there's a different way of looking at it, then I'm willing to change my mind. Who is it now? Darren Brown does a great little... No, don't, because I'm not his biggest fan. I like a lot of the stuff he does. Well, I like the stage shows. I'm not keen on the sort of TV shows he does. But on one of the stage shows, he's talking about like how you should be open-minded, but he's saying don't be too open-minded because your brain falls out, which is quite a good way of putting it. Because it's sort of like he's open-minded to the point of he is willing to change his mind if he is given the evidence to change his mind, and that's pretty much what I am. I will change my mind if you give me enough evidence to say you're wrong, basically. But sadly, I'm not usually wrong, so which is quite a good feeling. I tend to err on the right side pretty much a lot of the time, which is great. But yeah.
Oh, well, I can't express my opinions publicly ever.
Oh. Yeah.
Because unfortunately, like a few people, I say things that I mean without buttering them at all.
I've apologised to people on your behalf before, so
yes,
I know you know.
It's not the fact I don't think about. It's not the fact I don't think about what I'm saying. I just say things without softening the blow.
Yeah. I think you get on people's nerves quite a bit, so that's why I apologise on your behalf quite a lot. Or you?
Well, I'll let you apologise on people's behalf now but anything I may say in the future or in previous videos.
Okay. Sorry, you don't mean it.
There you go. No, I meant it. It's just I meant it, but it's taken out of context, out of words.
What you should probably do is just I'll do a quick. You didn't mean it, sort of thing, and then you can clip that, and then whenever you upset
It's
people,
everything.
yeah, you can just add that into videos when you've done something that you shouldn't have done.
A lovely little soundbite. Why, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyway,
I'm going to say that we've moved on solidly enough away from unpopular opinions of film and games to call it a day for now. I really actually enjoyed this. We'll have to do another one. I'm going to try and get the PlayStation hooked up and we can play a game. Probably one you're better at me than in. How do you say that? Better at me in? Better at me at. That's the one. There you go. Unless we do play Sniper Elite, in which case we'll probably shoot each other at the same time again, every single time.
Yeah.
Or if we do Division 2, in which case you'll hate me all the time because I don't play that game properly.
I know, which is why I don't play it with you. Well, there you go.
That's one of the reasons.
One of the many reasons I don't play a lot of online games with you.
Yeah, I mean, we could try Warframe. Let's go for a free to play first, because nothing screams not trying hard enough like a free to play.
I may end up falling out with you again. So
You're never falling out with me. We just have those periods where we just don't talk.
May never talk to you again. Oh.
Well, we'll see. Third time's the charm, eh?
Yeah. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Have a nice one. Give me 1 second. All right, mate. Toodles.
Goodbye.
All right. Well, James is gone, so it's just me. I'm going to say that's our second attempt at doing a recording, because the first one ended catastrophically. As in, I forgot to record my half of the dialogue. So the third video, or third chat, will be next week at some time, hopefully, all going well. And I will drink a different drink to Heineken, because I've been drinking that throughout this whole conversation, and it's lovely. Anyway, I've been InvertedOvert. He was James the Ginger Man, and hurrah! I can say Ginger Man. He's not here anymore. Bye. Honest, I'm gone now.